Hello everyone, welcome to the purple classes of the Res Indicais Academy Desh Badla Padhai Badlo. Today we'll be talking about a very important topic of agriculture. Under that we have various schemes that are being that has to be discussed today. Okay, so this lecture is going to be a series of lectures under which we'll be every lecture will be discussing some different type of schemes that are being part of agriculture. You know, there are very important topics that has been asked in the UPSC, especially related to the agriculture field. We have already discussed regarding the cropping pattern, then subsidies, and all these topics are being there. Irrigation and agriculture infrastructure is there. Okay, so there are a lot of schemes which are helping this agriculture sector in various aspects, whether it is related to irrigation, whether it is regarding the overall development of the agriculture, or whether it is regarding the infrastructure development in the agriculture. So there are a lot of schemes that are being running especially for the agriculture sector. So we will be discussing all these schemes in the coming series lectures. So that will be part of like agriculture series. So today this is the part 1 of this lecture, and today we'll be discussing 3 important schemes, that is Mission for Sustainable Agriculture that government has started. We will not call that as a scheme, but yeah, that is being a very important directions that it gives toward focusing on various aspects of the agriculture. Then Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana and Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana, which has been further renamed as remunerative approach for agriculture and allied sector rejuvenation, that is called RKVY Raftar. Okay, so we'll be discussing 3 very important schemes. So let's start with our session. So this is Indian economy schemes for agriculture part 1, and today first of all let's see what is the meaning of sustainable agriculture means. So there are a lot of definitions that are there everywhere regarding the sustainable agriculture, but there is a common things that is between everything. Okay, so whenever we say sustainable agriculture, we are actually focusing on like how we can integrate our plants and animal production, okay, and how we can optimize the practices, how we can utilize the various applications of science and technology so that we can have a sustainable way of production throughout the long terms. Okay, like anything which satisfy the human food and fiber needs for long term. Okay, for long term. Okay, then any type of practice which also help in proper maintaining the environmental quality. Okay, like we have a lot of natural resources are there, we have water is there, we have air is there, we have soil is there, and everything is there. Like how we are able to properly enhance the quality of these natural resources without too much like if we what we call it as without too much it's like using in a way like which is hampering the natural flow of the whole process. Okay, so how we can maintain a proper environmental quality, how we can optimize the way we do something, how we can reduce the uses of natural resources, and how we can increase the productivity, without excess of natural resources. That is by increasing the productivity without increasing the natural resources uses, that is called sustainable agriculture. Okay, because we have to save the natural resources for the coming future generation. At the same time, we have to optimize the use of natural resources, the way and how we can properly enhance the production without much hampering the natural process. Okay, then how we can make the most efficiency of non-renewable resources. Okay, there are a lot of non-renewable resources are there which cannot be renewed or which takes millions of years to get renewed. Okay, and how we can on the on farm resources, like in the on farm area, what is all these resources are there. We have trees are there, plants are there, water facility is there, we have a livestock is there, we have a soil is there. How we can enhance the use of resources, optimize the use of resources on farm, and how we can appropriately utilize these things, how we can utilize the natural biological cycle, because we know that since today's world we have totally lost the control of the biological cycle which was happening thousands of years back. Okay, slowly with the advancement of the civilization and too much deviation in various type of chemicals and everything, we have totally hampered the biological cycle which has been set up. Okay, so how we can further enhance the biological cycle, natural resources, and how we can control all these things. Okay, how we can sustain the economic viability of the farm operation. That means if there is some farm which is producing 1 hectare of land is there, and it is producing if 200 kgs of wheat, how we can increase the productivity, or if we cannot increase the productivity, at least how we can sustain this economic viability, so that we should not put in too much of inputs. Okay, if we are putting too much of inputs in producing this, then obviously the productivity is going down. Okay, because now your input cost is getting much more higher than your profit that you are going to get. Okay, and then how we can increase and enhance the quality of a life of a farmer and overall in a society as a whole. Okay, so this is what exactly the sustainable agriculture define as it is. Now, sustainable farming practices, what why we are actually looking forward for it. Okay, we know that throughout the world we are facing a lot of challenge of wasted resources. Okay, and inefficient farming practices are there. Okay, around agriculture only produce around 14% of the greenhouse gas emissions right now. Okay, and conversion of 50% of the world habitable land into the farming practices. Okay, there is a 26% 26 times increase in the use of pesticides in the past 50 years. Okay, because of the use of various type of chemicals and everything, there has left the pollution of around 48% of whatever the natural streams are there, whatever the natural river systems are there. Okay, around 48% have got been polluted, and this is going to be further increase in the future. Okay, then unsustainable agriculture practice have already lost 12 million hectare of land. Okay, because every year the land is getting wasted, land is getting converted into barren land because of the use of too much of chemical fertilizer, and the land is moving towards desertification. Desertification, because of the use of chemical fertilizer, land is not remaining productive. Okay, not remaining productive, right? So that is why we are focusing on sustainable farming practices. Now, what is the trend and what are the things that has there since 1700 to 2000? So this is we have taken from 1700 to 2000. You know, industrial age started in 1700 1750. Okay, what happens is that because there is a sudden rise in the temperature, quick rise in the temperature, population, there is a quick rise and sudden rise in the population that has happened. Because of that, more and more people need to be fed, obviously that has to be there, and that feed, then from where this food and everything will be coming for the food security, it will be coming from the farming practice. So now we have to move towards science and technology, especially to increase the productivity of the field, because you cannot increase the land. Okay, whatever the land that is there on the earth's surface, that is only the where what you can use. But what you can do from the single same piece of land, you can increase the productivity. Okay, so there is a need for greater production. Farmers have to produce more. Okay, then we have a urbanization. More and more cities are getting developed. Okay, less farm to do more work, because since the cities are getting growing, the culture land is getting converted into various type of buildings, and then factories and every other. So whatever the agriculture land was there, that has been getting converted into various other type of land, which is utilized for various other activity. Okay, then because of this, we have lot of ecological impact that has also happened. We have already seen the way climate change is happening, right? Recently, climate change is the main thing. We are facing the drought situation, we are facing the desertification situation, and we are also having huge issue of deforestation. Okay, so these all things are getting more and more severe in the coming future. Okay, so the less developed countries are following the similar trend. Earlier this was related to the bigger countries, okay, the developed countries, but now less developed countries are also facing the consequences of all these issues. Okay, so now what happened is that since agriculture is slowly becoming commercialized, okay, agriculture is slowly becoming commercialized, so people are growing more cash crops, which is mostly utilized for the selling purpose and rather for their own subsistence. Like if you go to the African nation, most of the African nation is not able to produce the crop to feed themselves first. So they have to depend on countries like Ukraine, Russia, India, USA for their food grain requirement. Okay, so this is what is the scenario that is happening throughout the world. So this is a very, very alarming situation, and you all also know that the population has already crossed the 7 billions. Okay, Indian population has already crossed, I think, 140 crore people. Okay, in the near future, we have already become the world largest in number of people. Okay, most populous country of the world, and we have even overtaken the China in that case. So there is a need for properly fixing of all these issues. So what is the negative impact that we are having regarding the current production style? Okay, whenever right now, whatever the current production style that we are having, so there are a lot of environmental damages that are happening. There are a lot of human impacts are also we can see from there. So if we go by the environmental damages, obviously the current mass production style, the way we are doing, focusing on more and more development of the cash crops and less focus on the cereal crops, okay, it is reducing the biodiversity, because we are focusing on more or less 2-3 types of crops. You can see that in India only, we are not focusing on oil seeds, we are not focusing on pulses. Okay, this focus area is not there. Our focus area is on only cereal crops, because here government is providing MSPs. Okay, there are 22 crops for which MSPs are being given. So people are being growing crop where they have a guarantee that they will be getting some fair price for their crops. Okay, but because since the government is providing guarantee over here, so more and more production is coming from this side only, and because of that we are not able to balance out the farm field. No balance in the farm field, right? So because is that there is a reduction in biodiversity, habitat destruction is happening every day, deforestation that is happening. Okay, Deforestation is creating habitat destruction among the people, obviously. Okay, deforestation, water, air and soil pollution, which is a visible phenomena everywhere. Okay, right now you can go there, you can go outside your house only, you can see various type of pollution, polluted water, air and soil pollution are there. Then salination, you know, there are a lot of use of pesticides and chemicals. You can go to the places where too much of like fertilizer are used, like Punjab region, you can go Haryana region, you can go, you will see the soil is getting saline over there. Then declining in water resources. How declining in water resources? You might have heard about the story of Bangalore. Okay, there the groundwater is slowly is getting depleted, and right now the most of the city of Bangalore is run on water tankers. Okay, water tankers, right? So this is again a huge issue that has to be looked forward for it. Then what about the human impact? Farmland destruction is happening because too much use of chemicals and everything, and because of the erratic weather patterns. Okay, because of the erratic weather patterns, there is a farmland destructions that is all happening over there. Okay, then because of uses of too much of fertilizers and too much of pesticides, there is a damage to the soil fertility that is happening. Okay, then reduce nutritional value of the food. Earlier, whatever the nutritional value that grains or fruit that was happening, that is slowly getting deteriorated. The main reason is that because of the uses of heavy chemicals, the soil is getting the soil is getting saline and acidic, and the soil fertility is getting decreasing, and because of that the nutritional support that has to go from the soil in the form of a natural supplement is not being provided the way. Okay, so because of that only there is a loss of economic activities that is happening. Social culturals are changing, cultural values are getting changing because of all these issues. Now what is the goal exactly, what we are expecting from here? So whenever we say goals, so goals of agriculture is to minimize adverse impact to the immediate of farms environmental while providing a sustained level of production and profit. Okay, that means the way we wanted to provide immediate, and sorry, we have a line is there. Okay, is to minimize. I think I was just not able to hear. It is to minimize. The goal of sustainable agriculture is to minimize adverse impact to the immediate and off-farm environment while providing a sustained level of production and profit. That is one thing. Then sustainability, whenever we are saying sustainability, it should be focusing on not on plant life but living organism, humans, everybody is included. Okay, everybody, that means it has to be inclusive, it has to be inclusive. Okay, so sustainable agriculture is like your ability to of a farm to produce food indefinitely without causing irreversible damage to the ecosystem. That means you can produce the food with higher productivity from your field without causing any kind of irreversible damage. That means it's the way you are producing the food has to be economically viable. That means you should not put more inputs. Input should not be more than your outputs. Okay, because until and unless your input cost is going down and your productivity is increasing, that is not being considered as economic viable. Okay, so it has to be properly maintained in such a way that it remain economically viable. Then it has to be environmental friendly. Whatever the tools, whatever the techniques that you are utilizing, it has to remain environmentally friendly. Then whatever you are doing, it should remain socially acceptable. It should not be like that some people say that this is not socially acceptable the way you are trying to do. That is, you cannot create problem for other just because you wanted to keep your field sustainable friendly. Okay, so it has to be socially acceptable. So when all the three things meets together, it is called sustainable agriculture. Okay, so what was the traditional method people were using? So like traditional methods where we used to normally harvest the water and rainfall. Okay, so 80% of the crop production worldwide relies on the rainfall. Obviously in India also more than 60% of the agriculture that we do, this is rain fed in our country. Okay, rain fed. So whenever there is a report from the meteorological department that this year the rain is going to be good, automatically all the sectors gain importance, because agriculture is the basic field through which on which every other sector is dependent. Okay, so there are a lot of like here we have an example of Mesoamerican farms. Okay, so there they used to utilize the crop rotation during that time when they were using some traditional methods. Okay, natural fertilizer they were utilizing, raised field, terrace, irrigation canal, swamp, lakes, home garden, tree culture. All are these things the traditional method which will be utilizing in the past, which are being called as a sustainable agriculture practice. Obviously everywhere like crop rotation, natural fertilizer, terrace, irrigated canal, swamp, this is all being common to everywhere. Okay, everywhere, it just depends on the location which is going to be suited for what type of activity. Okay, so now what is the today's method, today's sustainable farming practice, what exactly we are doing? Obviously crop rotation is the one thing that we are utilizing, because if we keep on doing crop rotation, automatically we are preventing the weeds, automatically we are preventing the diseases, because we are not allowing any disease to act for a long time. Okay, as and when we are crop rotating it, obviously anything which is getting attached to the older crop will be totally wiped out. Okay, so it will also mitigate insects. Okay, and various pest problems are there obviously. And since sometimes leguminous, there are leguminous plants are there which is having in their root nodules, so they have a bacterias. Okay, root nodules. Okay, this help in proper fixation of the nitrogen. Okay, so the soil is again get enriched with the nitrogen. Okay, so it also help in reduction in the soil erosion and also helps in reduction in the water contamination by chemicals. Okay, so this crop rotation is called as one of the easiest and one of the most sustainable way if you wanted to prevent any kind of weed formation, any disease, insect or any other thing. Okay, so pest control strategies are not harmful to the natural system or people, which include techniques like reduce the need of pesticides. Okay, so more and more focus has to be given on the use of natural system for controlling all these activities. Okay, so that we should not use too much of pesticides. Okay, we can utilize the practice of scouting, we can use the resistant cultivars, we can use using the timing of plantation, like we should plant a tree at that time when we are not having any issue with the weeds or something like that. Okay, we should focus on the places when we should not provide too much of a time for a weed to grow over there. Okay, so this is all the way we can utilize the biological pest controls are there. Okay, then we should utilize mechanical and biological weed control methods. Okay, there are a lot of insects that are coming which are to be released onto the fields so that they kill the pesticides and insect, but they do not harm any crops. Then we can utilize a lot of soil and water conservation method practices. Okay, animal green manures can be also utilized, especially focusing on, because this is going to be the natural manure that we are going to get, especially because this will be working best for the soil instead of chemical fertilizer. Okay, then use of natural or synthetic inputs are also being utilized at various other places. Now most of the people have the concept like what is the difference between organic and sustainable agriculture. Okay, so whenever we say organic farming do not utilize any type of synthetic inputs like chemical fertilizer, pesticide, herbicide or genetically modified crops. Okay, whereas sustainable agriculture does not. Okay, then sustainability focuses on what is taken out of a soil with what is returned to it. Okay, this is not necessarily a concern with the organic farming. Okay, so sustainability is how we are going to increase the productivity. Organic means we are focusing on the organic way of working. Okay, Sustainability means you can use resources, things, but maintain it in a sustainable way. Organic is a way of doing agriculture, right? So organic farm only have a small percentages of farms are there, we have very little impact on the environment, right? And sustainable agriculture makes to have a positive impact, because we wanted to enhance the sustainable agriculture. At the same time, we have to increase the productivity also. Okay, so we are focusing that in the coming future there will be lot of organic farms that will be there, where machineries and automation and everything will be working. Okay, we'll have a similar sustainability issue that large conventional farm are doing. Okay, see, normal farming and organic farming are doing farming only, but the uses of inputs are different. But in sustainability, even we are utilizing various things in the organic farming also, but are we using in a sustainable way? That has to be taken care in the coming future. Okay, so now we are moving towards the first part, that is called National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture, that has been launched by our government of India. Okay, so National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture is one of the important missions that has been launched along with the National Action Plan on Climate Change. Okay, National Action Plan on Climate Change. Okay, then this is one of the most important mission. Along with that, a lot of missions has been launched in 2008. So this National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture is a part of National Action Plan for Climate Change. Okay, so the main focus here is the main focus here over here is the change in the agriculture practices, like how we can improve the agriculture practices. Okay, how we can improve the agricultural practices, then after that how we can mitigate the issues that are being created because of the climate change effect. Okay, so here this mission, National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture, is trying to comprehensively revamp the agriculture practices so that we can get the desired result of the nationally determined contributions. Okay, you know, NDC goals has been signed, right? For 2030 we have nationally determined contribution goals are there. So National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture will be helping us in achieving these goals. Okay, now what is the mission objective of that? Obviously we wanted to make our mission of sustainable agriculture much more productive. Productive means like less input, more outputs. Sustainable, that means it should remain sustainable, that means it is growing and keep on growing the minimum amount what is expected from that. So it should not be like that in 1 year it is growing something and next year it is the productivity is getting very down like that. No, it has to remain much and more sustainable. Then remunerative, that means it should generate certain money for the farmer, so that whatever the money the farmer is putting, at least certain percentage of the money can be generated as a profit. And it has to be climate resilient, that means right now we are focusing on climate resilient crops. Okay, this is the focus area, because we have to look, because temperature is rising, erratic weather events are happening, so we cannot focus on the traditional crops which simply gets wiped out just because of a small type of issues that is happening in the weather pattern. Okay, so we should have a climate resilient crops, location specific working, composite farming system has to be created. Okay, that is a one thing, that is National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture. Then second one is conservation of natural resources, like how we can conserve the soil, air, water, resources, moisture along the soil. Okay, because of too much of evaporation the soil is getting dry all the time. Like what is the type of way how we can do by putting mulch and all those things in order to make the soil much more full of moisture. Okay, so that we do not require too much of irrigation over there. Okay, how we can use the soil health management, comprehensive use of soil health management practices. Okay, like in India we have even created a soil health card is there. Okay, Then soil test based application, like the soil test based application means that they should be connected with the mobile phones. Okay, in the villages area, the farmer should get the proper information on their mobile phones about the micro and macro. In the soil health card you can find all these micro and micronutrients facility. Then judicious use of fertilizer. You know, in our country we have a urea which is highly subsidized. Okay, urea is highly subsidized, so that is why people are utilizing too much urea. They are utilizing too much urea, even that urea is not needed, and because of that the soil is getting too much of acidic in that case. So there is a need for judicious use of fertilizer, whether nitrogen is required, whether phosphorus is required, whether potassium is required, or any other micronutrients that has been manganese, and whatever it is required has to be further checked. So the soil health card will be working in on those bases. Okay, then proper optimized utilization of water resources, like how we can utilize water management. We can use sprinklers, we can use drip irrigation. Okay, slowly this technology is getting used to at various places, and people and our area and the fields are also covering all these things in the in much more larger way. Okay, because we have to focus on productivity per drop. Per drop also should not get wasted. More crop per drop, that is what the mission aim is. Okay, then to develop the capacity of the farmer and stakeholder, like all the farmer, they should also get their capacity developed. Okay, like they should also focus on learning the various other type of farming techniques, farming practices. Okay, and they should also utilize a new technology in these all process, right? So there are a lot of missions that are going on: national mission on agriculture extension and technology, national food security mission, national initiative of climate resilient agriculture. All are being running in order to enhance the capacity and to develop the knowledge of the farmer in this whole field area. Now we know that there are a lot of schemes that are running in our country, like Manrega is running, integrated watershed management development program is running. Okay, these schemes are being utilized for providing much more support to the national mission for sustainable agriculture, because we have to improve the productivity of the field. Okay, and we have to utilize the rain fed better technologies, because these are being technology which has to be further inculcated, induced into the farming methods. Okay, so NICRA is utilizing and leveraging the various type of resources from the other schemes in all these areas. Then also to develop inter and intra departmental coordination, because this is very much must. Otherwise, if you are working in silos, then we will be not going to achieve what exactly we wanted to achieve, because everything has to work in an integrated way. Okay, so we have to make sure that all departments, ministries which are being related to the agriculture practices, they should all work in together, jot down the plan together and work in an integrated way. Okay, now what is the strategy that we are, so that was the objective. Okay, then what is the strategy that we are following? The first strategy is promotion of the integrated farming system. How integrated we will be doing? First of all, we will be utilizing crops, livestock, fisheries, plantation material, pasture. This all will be included in our sustainable agriculture practice. That is the one way, that is the strategy that we are going to focus, because this will be providing us with composite farming methods. This will be also helping in enhancing the livelihood opportunities and food security, obviously, because if we are working in an integrated way, if any one thing fails, the other thing will remain sustainable, right? So this will minimize the risk of crop failure, and obviously through supplemental and residual program. Okay, then the second strategy, this is the first strategy, the second strategy is popularization of resource conservation technologies, whether you are using it on farm technologies or out the farm technologies. Okay, how we can on the farm, like water management, harvester, various other things which we are utilizing, and then drip irrigation, sprinkler, then off the farm techniques also, all on the farm, off the farm technologies we can utilize, and we can popularize them among the people, and if somebody is not able to afford it, we can provide them with a rent for all these activities. Okay, so we have to introduce this practice because this will helpful in mitigation, and this will help in extreme climate events like dry spells, floods, and various other things. Okay, then the third one is promotion of effective management of whatever the resources, water resources that is available to you. Okay, even the reduced amount of water resources, if utilized in an efficient way, so this because how we are going to utilize this proper water with the use of technologies like drip, sprinklers, okay, and various other irrigation techniques are there based on supply and demand. So we have to utilize efficient management of the water. This is the mission strategy focusing on water. Okay, then focus on agroeconomic practices. What are these agroeconomic practices? How we can increase the farm productivity by utilizing various natural input tools. How we can improve our soil. How you can retain the water. How we can increase the water retention capacity of the soil. How we can reduce the use of chemicals and energy, and how we can enhance the soil carbon storage. Okay, so this is how another strategy that we are going to follow under the National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture. Then the next way we wanted to follow a mission strategy is by creating a database on soil resources, because if we are doing proper land survey, if we are doing proper land profile and soil analysis based on our GIS platform, it will be easy to disseminate the information regarding what type of soil at what places is of what quality and what type of crops can be grown over there. So we can provide them with people with location based information, specific crop based information, what type of fertilizer, how much is needed. So this will properly optimizing our own agriculture practices. Then the next one is promotion of location and crop scientific integrated nutrition management. Okay, nutrition management is yet another area where the peoples are lagging. How they are lagging is because they don't know how much is the fertilizer that has to be provided, how much and what type of nutritions that has to be provided in all these places. Okay, so in order to maintain the quality of land, water and soil and everything, there has to be a very important integrated nutrition management program that has to be there. Okay, then we are also collaborating with institutional and professional, like we have a lot of agriculture universities. Okay, we have lot of like scientists that are working in various type of labs. Okay, so this is all being needed with the help of institutional setup, with the help of the people who are working in agriculture university. We have Indian Council of Agriculture Research, we have Pantnagar universities. Okay, there are a lot of universities and agriculture research institutes are there who are creating every day a various type of technologies, improvement in the seed quality and various type of techniques that has to be utilized. Okay, then lot of interventions that is also needed as per the land capability and conducive climate parameters. Okay, like blocks has to be selected, which area is important for rain feed, which is where canal irrigation is there. Okay, based on that, proper coordination has to be there. Okay, there are a lot of schemes are running which are working at various places like Manrega, Integrated Water Management Plan, Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana, National Food Security Missions, that has to be all has to work in a integrated way. Okay, they have to all work in an integrated way. Planning, coordination and convergence we can utilize. Now, what are the mission interventions that are being needed in the National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture? So the first mission interventions that is needed is focus on the rain-fed area development program. Okay, so here what we are, so it is again a area based approach. It is how we can conserve our natural resources within our farming system. Like if there is a rain that is happening anywhere, so how we can utilize the watershed is an area which is being like from all the places from where the water is getting collected from mountain rivers at a particular location. Like if we have what we call it as a, if we have a places where the water is coming from the river, from the pond, from the various other sources, okay, so that area will be counted as a watershed. So how we can leverage this watershed with the help of various other scheme like Manrega, then integrated water management plant. So what exactly focus over here? So here we are integrating our agriculture component like crop, horticulture, livestock and forestry. Okay, then soil health focus is also on over, so nutrition management is over here. Then cluster based approach, 100 plus hectare noticeable impact that we wanted. So that means we are creating like a cluster. Okay, cluster based focus over here is that under the rain-fed area development program. So whatever the rain-fed area is there, we are working on creation of a watershed over there. By creation of the watershed, we will be this will be further focus that will be done on horticulture, livestock, forestry, then soil health and cluster base. Okay, and common property resources like grain bank and biomass shedder. So this is all being utilizes for on-field activities. Okay, like if we are utilizing that a village adopt a rain-fed area development program to integrate the fish farming. Okay, if they wanted to do any kind of fish farming, okay, so they can utilize for soil health card, optimize their nutrition use and community grain bank. Okay, so while doing the fish farming on their field or in their rice field, they can also do various type of soil health. They can create a good amount of soil health card data. At the same time, they can also optimize the use of nutrition, and also they can create a grain bank over there. So this is an example of a rain-fed area development program. Then on-farm management system, on-farm water management, that is another mission intervention that is required in National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture. So under the on-farm water management, so it is totally focusing on the water management. Efficiency has to be there, okay, because we normally what we do, we used to flood the field, okay, even which is not required. The farmers used to flood the field unnecessarily, okay. So there is a need to utilize the better advanced technologies like sprinklers, drip irrigations, okay, system has to be there. Okay, so focus area are 4, like water conservation is one focus area, right? Then harvesting and management of a rainwater. So if you have a rainwater harvesting management, so rain-fed area development program where you should have a proper harvesting and management of the rainwater, then this rainwater you can utilize for various other purposes also. Okay, then if there is a common water resources is there, common, like if we have a canal is there, if we have a tube well is there, which is of the common use, so we have to have a equitable distribution of water resources from the user association. Okay, so here how we are going to utilize all these processes, that we have to utilize the fund that has been generated on the Manrega fund for creation of the ponds and other water conservation. So Manrega labors can be utilized in construction of these common resources. Okay, these common resources can be constructed by utilizing the labor from the Manrega. So Manrega worker will be much more productive in all these area. Like here you can see example of drip irrigation and farm ponds, and this will all helpful in proper in farm management of the water. At the same time, it will also improve the crop yield of the field. Okay, then we have a soil health management under the National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture. So under the soil health management, which is again one of the most integral part of the National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture, so sustainable soil health practices focus is on how to improve the productivity, quality of the soil by natural means or by certain inputs which will further enhance the quality of the soil. And then yes, organic farming which we are also called as param par, paragat krishi. Okay, that is organic and which is Paramparagat. Okay, we have this Yojana, Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana is also there, which we will be considering in our next sessions. Okay, so how we can improve the soil fertility, how we can map the soil, how we can map the land, okay, map soil, map land, and how we can utilize the various technologies like GIS based technologies for better soil management, soil health management. Okay, because we know that we have a lot of issues related to acidity of the soil, alkalinity of the soil, the salinity of the soil is there. So this is all happening because of the various climatic conditions, climatic features, at the same time un and unsustainable use of fertilizers, water, and various other things. Okay, so that is why there is a need for proper judicious fertilizer application, and at the same time proper erosion control measures has to be checked. Okay, so like if we have any places which is adopting a organic farming. Okay, so before going towards the organic farming, first of all we have to find out what type of soil that area is having, what type of productivity that soil is having, survey of the soil, then macronutrients, micronutrients. Based on that we will be assess the soil health, and based on that we will be able to adopt what type of farming practice can be done over here. Then at the fourth is climate change and sustainable agriculture monitoring, modeling, and networking. Now, under the climate change and sustainable agriculture monitoring, modeling, and networking, that is CCSAMNS. Okay, the main focus is on climate change adaptation. That means we know that climate change is real, it is happening. So now we have to focus on how we can adapt to these things. Okay, we have to utilize climate resilient agriculture system, mitigation measures. Okay, how we can utilize more judicious use of everything, and how we can increase the productivity. So first of all we have to share the climate related knowledge, like if we have any university or any research institute, professors, anybody, or any international university, if they are doing research, or if there is any kind of experiment that has happened which has been found that yes, this is a kind of practice that we can utilize for our own working, we can utilize over here, right? Then piloting climate smart agriculture projects. Okay, more and more agriculture project has to be there, where we can utilize the various type of artificial intelligence. At the same time drones can be utilized, okay, for monitoring, for proper water supply system can be provided. Okay, so we have to coordinate here with various government scheme, Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana and Manrega. All these things have to be collaborated. Okay, so these schemes can be utilized for the benefit of the, like this Manrega, Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana. Okay, they will provide you with integrated development of agriculture. How integrated? Because they will be working holistically. Okay, we will be utilizing the infrastructure made by the Manrega, Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana, and then we will be inculcating all these into our own sustainable agriculture practices. Okay, then also the focus is on local production, more and more local variety. Okay, and this year we are focusing on the millets part. Okay, so this is all means needed, because local production is able to sustain. If we are getting the seed from outside and from product from outside, then they may not be able to, and they may be like invasive species. Okay, they may act like an invasive species. So we have to focus on local production, which is totally aligned which is totally aligned with our own production cycle. Okay, so if we are doing proper local production, it will prevent us from various type of climate related risk. Okay, so this is all related to the National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture. Now we are moving towards the next scheme, that is called Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. Again, this is under the Department of Agriculture, Cooperation and Water, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare. Okay, Department of Agriculture, Cooperation and Farmer Welfare, which is the part of Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare. So what is the need of Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana? Okay, so whenever we say any scheme, the main focus area of Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana is to bring irrigation water to every farmland. You know, there are canals are there. Okay, like if we have this as a canal, this is one example that I'm giving. So here, whatever the fields are there, okay, these fields are there, field 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they will be easily getting the water from the canal because they are near the canal. But what about if we have a field over here? If we have a field over here, how this canal water is going to reach over there? So we have a focus under Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana is that we have to send water, we have to bring irrigation water to each and every farm of our country. Okay, we know that right now more than 60% of our farmland depends on the rain. Okay, that means our most of the agriculture still rain fed. So there is a need to provide some sustainable irrigation water techniques so that farmer should not depend on the rain, because of these climate factors is getting erratic day by day, nature by nature. Okay, sometimes there are heavy rainfalls that are happening at some places, there are some drought condition are happening. Okay, so there is a need to bring the irrigation water to every farm. So that is why we need to converge the various ongoing projects which are going here and there. Okay, like if any project is going on under various ministries, so we can attach that project of irrigation and link that irrigation with this whole process. Okay, so put all effort under one umbrella. Okay, whatever the irrigation project are going on under various heads, let us bring all those irrigation project under the single head. Okay, and this will help in bridging the gaps, and also we will be having a innovative intervention, state specific, location specific. Okay, so vision is har khet ko pani. Har khet ko pani means every village, every field, we have to provide water. Har khet ko pani. So this will boost the gross irrigated area. Gross irrigated area is like we are increasing the agriculture in the same field. Like if that agriculture field for in 1 year, it is we are trying to create 2 type of crops over there, so gross crop irrigated area got increased. So we are trying to create a more crop per drop. Okay, then jal sanchay, right, bridging the gap, irrigation potential and utilization. That means if we have a potential of irrigation of 1000 hectare, this example, and we are only utilizing 500 hectare, so that means this potential is getting wasted. So how, first of all, like if we have a good amount of rainfall that is happening, so we have to sanchay it, we have to store it at some places. That means we have a potential, we should create a potential to store that thing, and after that we can utilize. So this will further boost our farm productivity. Okay, then jal sichan means to irrigate. So based on that, we have to create a better water distribution network. Everywhere irrigation water distribution network, canals, ponds, lakes, everything has to be constructed. then check dams and small check dams has to be constructed in order to properly distribute the water to the last farm on the village. Okay, so this will help in enhancing the water use efficiencies and management, right? This will further boost our agriculture productivity, and agriculture productivity goes up. Agriculture productivity goes up, similarly rural prosperity also goes up. So this is the vision, this is the strategy that what we are going to do, and this is what we are going to get. Now what is this solution that we are focusing on? So what is the end-to-end solution that is being provided under this category? How we can improve the irrigation supply chain. So there are a lot of things that are involved in the irrigation supply chain, like water sources, what is your distribution network, what is your crop and water management practice, how you will be improving the water efficiency. Okay, so this all will be the part of the irrigation supply chain strengthening. Okay, we have a lot of water resources, we have ponds are there, we have lakes are there, we have rivers are there, we have dams are there, and other canals, rivers are there. Okay, so first of all, how we are improving the water resources, it's like, first of all, if it is not there, you create them. Okay, you know, under the Manrega there is a scheme that is there, which is for creation of the a pond, tank and small lakes at various places for collection of the rainwater, for collection of rainwater, correct? Then whatever the type of ponds, lakes, rivers and everything are there, if there is any kind of damage, if there is any kind of leakages are there, so repair them, restore them, renovate them of these water resources, because we have to prevent, we have to save each and every type of water resources. Okay, then after that, distribution network has to be strengthened. Distribution network in the form of either canals, pipelines, okay, whatever are being there, that is the distribution network system has to be strengthened, so that each and every farm is connected by the irrigated water supply chain. Then crop and water management, we have to align proper crop, right? If you have a drought prone area, grow a crop which is drought resistance. If you have a heavy rain area, draw a crop like we have a rice field we can grow, okay, and various type of other crops can be grown, right? Then moisture conservation techniques are to be, because in the very heated area right now, climate change is happening, the temperature is going 40 degrees Celsius, 41, some places it is reaching up to 50, 52 also. Okay, so there is a need to conserve the moisture onto the field, because moisture will lead to the better germination of the seed. Okay, if the moisture is not there, the field will be dry, and dry field will not be able to germinate the seed properly. Okay, so this is again very much important, that is needed for that whole purpose. Then water use efficiency, like how we can effectively and efficiently provide and apply the water at various places. Okay, so we have to also focus on traditional irrigation techniques which are being utilized for time immemorials, and the latest like drip irrigation, then we have a sprinkler system are also can be utilized for all this process. This is the end-to-end solution that we can provide over here. Now what is the objective that we are looking forward for our Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana? Okay, so first of all is the convergence of the investment in irrigation. So we have a lot of schemes that are running regarding the irrigation, so there is a need to converge these scheme and focus on targeted way, okay. Then we have to focus on access, how we can enhance this access so that everybody can be able to access this water resources, and there should be no farm which is left behind just because they cannot access it. Okay, so access has to be also increased by providing various type of irrigation infrastructure at various places. Then integration of water sources with distribution and application, that is the third point. Okay, on farm, like once the water has reached, how you can effectively utilize that water. Okay, how you can effectively utilize that water, how efficiently you can utilize that water. Okay, then adaptation of precision irrigation. Precision irrigation means exactly where, like drip, sprinklers, these are all called as precision irrigation techniques. Okay, then water conservation and groundwater recharge. So how we can conserve the water, how we can recharge, it is all related to the rainwater harvesting infrastructure that has to be developed at that places. Okay, then development of rain-fed area through watershed approach. Watershed approach means there are a lot of areas from where the water is collected. Okay, water is coming from the canals, water is coming from the mountain, water is coming from either any hilly areas. So this is all called as a catchment area, from where from various places the water is coming and flowing into a certain stream or something like that. Okay, so how we are going to catch that? Then extension of IEC application, electronic application. And yeah, there is a municipal waste water is there, how we can utilize that and utilize it in the agriculture purpose. And obviously private investment is much more needed during this time, so we have to incentivize these things in order to increase the private investment in this agriculture area. Okay, now components of Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. So there are four components of Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. One is AIBP, that is called Accelerated Irrigation Benefit Program. Okay, here you can see AIBP, that will be focusing on the completion of various major and minor projects which are related to irrigation. Okay, whatever the major and minor irrigation projects that were going on, it is focusing on that. And then any national project, national dam or anything, so this is regarding accelerated irrigation benefit program. Okay, then we have a Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, Har Khet Ko Pani, every field should get the water. How? With the help of a surface minor irrigation, command area distribution, water diversion system, lift irrigation, groundwater development, traditional water harvesting, and RRR of the bodies. That means we have to so RR stands for repair, renovate and restoration. Okay, these are the three things, RR of the water body. So how Har Khet Ko Pani we are going to provide with the help of surface minor irrigation, command area distribution, water diversion system, then lift irrigation and traditional water harvesting. So whatever we can do other here, so these are the big things over here. Then Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, per drop more crop. How we can increase productivity, that exactly we wanted to say over here. Okay, increasing of the productivity, how it is going to work. Okay, so on farm water management is one more thing, because how you are utilizing the water on the farm is much more important than to getting the water, because if you are utilizing the water in an inefficient way, then there is no use of providing, because there is no use of any type of practice. But if you are providing it with a very important precision way, then you can increase the productivity multiple times. Okay, then precision irrigation system like drip irrigation, then sprinkler, then district and state irrigation plan. Every district is creating their own irrigation plan, so this is like a trickle down approach that we are focusing on. Then extension services, like how we can extend the various services into the like along with the irrigation, how we can utilize the various other schemes for support of this scheme. Then coordination and monitoring. Then fourth one is watershed development. Okay, so whenever we say watershed, it is like that we are upholding the water that is being coming from the rainfall, from catchment areas and from all these areas. Okay, like if there is a water from rainfall, 1 minute. Okay, if there is a water from rainfall that is falling on a catchment area, okay, that is on a catchment area, any runoff of the water is there. Okay, so all these, like if there is any lake, pond is there, so how that is all being considered under a watershed. Okay, so under the watershed we are focusing on soil and moisture conservation, rainwater harvesting, then runoff management, treatment and livelihood support activities. So here now we will be discussing one by one each and every one. So accelerated irrigation benefit program. Okay, Ministry of Water Resources and Rural Development. Major focus in on completion of major and medium irrigation projects. That is the first thing that we have to look forward for it. Okay, then Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, har khet ko pani, new water sources, repair, restoration and RRR techniques, right? So here we are doing Jal Sanchay, right? Then command area development, like what is the distribution network that we wanted to follow. Water management practices, like how we can take the advantage of the available sources, which is not tapped. Okay, that means we call that as a hanging fruits. That means we have even not tapped, but there are sources are there. Okay, so we have to tap that. Okay, so at least 10% of the command area to be covered under micro and precision irrigation. Like whatever the area that we are developing in command area, every place will be having their own command area. So at least 10% of that command area should be utilizing micro or precision irrigation. That means that is your drip irrigation and sprinkler system wherever is needed. Okay, then diversion of water from sources from different location to a plenty into nearby water scarce area. So here we are also looking for river linking projects. Okay, river linking projects. Okay, so wherever there is a there is more water and we can shift from one water rich places to the non water rich places. So here under the like a Ken Betwa linking project, we have a Ken Betwa river linkage project where the water from the Ken river will be transferred to the Betwa river. Okay, so Ken river is having a good water capacity and Betwa is having less water capacity. Okay, so Ken river in Madhya Pradesh to Betwa river, so it will be focusing on the drought hit Bundelkhand region. Okay, drought hit Bundelkhand region, which will be focusing on, right? So this is one example that I have given to you. Then uses of the lift irrigation from water bodies, like if it is having a lower elevation, you can just lift off the water. Okay, and supplement the requirement beyond integrated water management practice. Okay, Manregas, and you can utilize the resources from here. And creation of traditional water storage. So there are a lot of various ways the names of the water storage techniques are being known, like Jal Mandir, it is called in Gujarat, Khatri, then Cool in Himachal Pradesh, Jabo in Nagaland, Eri, Ontar in Tamil Nadu, Dongs in Assam, in Assam. Then we have all these things are there which are being utilized over here for the development of the traditional water system. So under the per drop more crop, we are running various programs with the help of state and district irrigation plan. So district irrigation plan, state irrigation plan, these all are getting created. That is the annual action plan. It is like from trickle down approach that we are following, how we are going to properly utilize each and every drop of water, how we can restore the system, how we can optimally utilize the various system, how we can utilize the new technologies like water efficient technologies like drip irrigation, sprinkler, pivot, rain guns and Jal Sanchay like Sichan like that. Okay, this is Jal Sichan, how we are going to irrigate the field, that is called Sichai Karna. Okay, so whatever the cost that is coming, we can say here topping up the input cost, particularly under the civil construction beyond permissible limit of 40% under Manrega. Okay, So outlets, inlets, silt traps, everything you can be part of that Manrega activities. Okay, then construction of micro irrigation structures, right? That is again one more thing that has to be done over here. So wherever the groundwater is available, okay, you can utilize it, all the things. Okay, first of all we have to check whether it is critical, over exploited, under what category is there. Okay, so this is all has to be checked. Okay, so whatever the construction of micro irrigation structure you are doing, make sure that they are not being supported under any other part of that. Okay, then only you can go for this part. Then secondary storage structures are there, like whenever they have we have a rainy season, or from a perennial river sources like streams. Okay, so during the dry period we can utilize, because this is especially needed for farm water management, because during the dry period only maximum water need is required. Okay, then water lifting devices like diesel, electric, solar pumps that are there. Government is running a very important scheme. The name of that scheme is PM-KUSUM Yojana. Okay, under like solar pump, PM-KUSUM Yojana, under that various schemes. So we will be discussing this separately in the different lecture. Okay, so all these activities will be provided, like water lift, like for diesel generator, electric pumps are there. Okay, all these are being provided. Then extension activity, what are the extension activity? Like scientific moisture conservation activity, one of the extension activity. Then crop alignment, how we can maximize the use of available water, rainfall, and how we can minimize our irrigation requirement. Okay, so that we can all have our own irrigation system, and we should not depend on even that irrigation also. How we can minimize the irrigation requirement. Okay, so here Jal Sanrakshan is yet another one more important thing that has to be further tackled. Okay, then capacity building, like we have to provide the training to the farmers, right? Training in various fields, how you can conserve the water, how can optimally utilize, and new technologies, right? Technological, agronomical, management practices, and how you can go for a community irrigation plans, right? Then awareness campaigns also has to be released regarding the water saving technologies. They have to keep on doing, they have to conduct the workshop, they have to keep a classes in panchayat office. Okay, they have to be shown videos and everything. Conference has to be done, then booklets, then flyers has to be put, banners has to be put, in order to find out the way how you can conserve the water. Pamphlets, success stories has to be told. Okay, if you go to the website of the Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, there you will be finding there are various type of success stories are also being discussed over there. And how we can utilize various innovative techniques, innovative distribution system like pipe and box outlets, okay, controlled outlets and activities. So here we will be able to properly enhance the water use efficiency for our Sinchai Yojana. Okay, now here you can see who are the nodal implementing department. Okay, so what is the nodal and implementing department over here? Okay, so first of all, the state agriculture department is going to be the nodal department from where everything will be transferred. Okay, so state will collate all the sub projects of each cluster received from different implementation department district as one DPR. Okay, now then coordinate in preparation of the district irrigation plan and state irrigation plan. Okay, this is district irrigation plan, on this is state irrigation plan. Then after that they will be also convening the meeting of the SLSC and IDWG. What is the meaning of SLSC? It is the state level sanctioning committee. It is a state level sanctioning committee, and IDWG means interdepartmental working group. Okay, so there will be a meeting that will be happening between these groups. So based on this meeting, they will be creating a district irrigation plan, then state irrigation plan, and after that only they will be properly working on these whole areas. So as we see here, SLSC, that is state level sanctioning committee. The main role of state level sanctioning committee is approving the state irrigation plan. Okay, so SLSC will be approving the state irrigation plan and district irrigation plan. Okay, and then sanctioning and prioritizing funding of project under Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. That is also the role of state level sanctioning committee, and it will only the monitor and review the implementation of Pradhan Mantri Krisi Sinchai Yojana, right? And also state level sanctioning committee will be doing ensuring that convergence with other scheme, that is no duplicate or effort resource taken otherwise. This is all. That means the most of the role that has been given to the, it is only given to the state level sanctioning committee, since the word has been sanction release here. So state level sanction committee will be approving and doing everything. Okay, so it will also ensure that there is no inter-district disparity with respect to financial pattern. Okay, and also it will decide the implementation agencies and department in the state. Okay, and it will also ensure that the program implementation is in accordance with the guidelines that are being laid down by the program that has been given by the ministry. So that is all the role of the SLSC. Now, district and irrigation plan. So perspective plan outline medium to long term requirements. So what is going to be there in the district and state irrigation plan? So under district and irrigation plan, there will be a plan that will be outlining the medium and long term strategy for that. Okay. So information on, first of all, they will be telling what type of resources, water resources are available to us, where all these water resources are available, right? Then after that, they will be finding out untapped things, right? Untapped potential water sources like surface water and subsurface water also, they will be mapping all the things. And then after that, they will be making a plan where the gaps in irrigation and where potential creation and utilization can be done. Okay, and they will also preparing what is the recent level of water use efficiency. Okay, then water requirement for agriculture, that was also they will be making projected requirement, improve demand and supply, prioritizing the resource mapping, use of satellite imagery. Okay, that means every groundwork, all the groundwork to the bottom level will be done by the district and state irrigation plan. Okay, so this is what the institutional setup. Okay, so this is a national steering committee, this is our national executive committee, then we have a state level, what is that? SLCC. I hope everybody remember that. It is state level sanctioning committee. Yes, it is state level sanctioning committee. Okay, and then we have interdepartmental working group is there, right? We have interdepartmental working group. This is interdepartmental working group, right? Then DLIC, and DLIC stands for here district level implementation committee. So this is the whole institutional setup of the Pradhan Mantri Krisi Sinchai Yojana. Okay, so state level sanctioning committee, I've already told you, approve the DIP and SIP district level irrigation plan, sanctioning and prioritizing the project, coordinate and the convergence, deciding the implementation department, interstate coalition, allocation and monitoring and review. So this is all being done by headed by the chief secretary. Chief secretary is the major head of all these sanctioning committees. Okay, then we have a IDWG, interdepartmental working group. Okay, under the interdepartmental working group, there will be a consultation that will be happening. Day-to-day coordination and management will be happening between the department. Then there will be a screening of the projects that will be happening, like what projects and whether there is a viable project or not project, and way selection and removal of the project will be happening. Then supporting of the state level committee that is being there in the decision making. Okay, Okay, so this department, interdepartmental working group, will be supporting the SLSC committee in their decision making process. Okay, so that will be this interdepartment working group will be coming under APC Developmental Commissioner. Okay, and then we have a district level implementation commission. This is the ground grassroot level of the development, where district collector is the head of this committee, and district collector will be preparing the district irrigation plan, sub plans, and annual irrigation plan, field level coordination, public awareness campaigns, and monitoring progress. Okay, so this is all being done by the district collector. District collector will be reporting to the interdepartmental working group, then state level screening committee will be working. Okay, so this is how the whole process has been going from top to bottom, and from like district collector is the nodal head at a district level. Okay, after that, how the monitoring and evaluations will be done over here. So there are three level of monitoring and evaluation. One is mobile app based, which is being widespread. Okay, that will be widespread everywhere, this will be there. Okay, after that we have a GIS, geographical information system, that is being localized. And then after that, information communication and technology management information system. Okay, management information system. So this is how the monitoring and evaluations will be done from the bottom to the top like this. Okay, so here we have some example regarding the implementation. Like first example is of precision irrigation in Maharashtra. Okay, so Maharashtra is utilizing Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana fund, especially focusing on the drip irrigation part, because Maharashtra, most of the upper region of the Maharashtra is being drought hit region, Vidarbha region part of that. So here the focus is on giving is focus on the drip irrigation. Drought prone areas are there. Okay, so this will reduce the use of water, that will reduce the demand of the water, and the water will be utilized very in a precise way. Okay, then after that we are moving to the next example, that is a groundwater recharge in Rajasthan. Okay, so Rajasthan is focusing on construction of small check dams. Okay, check dams mean these are not big dams, they are being very small dam, which is just hold to a little amount of water. Okay, and sometimes they just open the check dams and the water flows over there. Okay, so this is Rajasthan is in focusing on, where they are creating a nalas. Okay, small canals. Okay, small canals, pagadandi, what we call it as. Okay, farm ponds under the Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. There, this will by creation of these check dams and farm ponds, automatically there will be a improved groundwater recharge that will be happening. Okay, because in Rajasthan also, in the western part, we have a lot of dry areas are there, obviously. So this is going to be very beneficial for that process. Okay, then we have again Gujarat. We have an example of the Gujarat, where they are utilizing the treated wastewater. How treated wastewater? So they are having a lot of water which is being coming from the municipal area, so they are trying to treat that municipal area, and they are trying to put it on the urban agriculture fields. Okay, so this water is being treated with like any type of harmful chemicals, and the things are being removed during the municipal treatment, and after that this will be utilized for the various type of irrigation facility and irrigation purposes. Okay, so this further reduces the pressure on getting the fresh water, right? This further reduces the pressure on the fresh water. Okay, so these example obviously shows that there are a lot of different efforts are there, different places, they are utilizing different techniques, yet all are trying to supplement the Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana the way they wanted, and in the workings and everything. And everywhere you can see that we have heard that there are a lot of success stories that are happening, especially focusing on the conservation of the water, and then discharging of the water. Okay, so this is regarding the Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. Okay, so Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana, remunerative approach for agriculture and allied sector rejuvenation. That means Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana, Raftar. Okay, so this was the name of the scheme. Okay, normally the Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana was launched in 2007, but after that it got a modified name. Okay, it got a modified name in 2018 and 19. Okay, since then we are utilizing the name Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana Raftar. The main focus is like how we can make our farming more and more remunerative, like it can create more and more revenues, more and more remuneration for the farmers, and how we can boost the economic activity, and how we can strengthen our farmer. Okay, and how we can mitigate the risk and promote agri business. So all these things are there, right? So remunerative, the first one; boosting of the economic activity, the second one; then strengthening of the farmer, that is the third one; then risk mitigation is the fourth one; then agri business is the fifth one; and entrepreneurship is the sixth one. Okay, so this is what exactly, this is a focus on overall development, focus on overall development of the agriculture. So Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana is a centrally sponsored scheme. Whenever we say anything that is centrally sponsored, that means there is a sharing benefit. Okay, that means the funding sharing will happen, right? Here you can see we'll be just coming regarding the funding. So here normally from the state, central government and the state government will be the ratio of 60 is to 40, 60 of the central government and 40 is the state government. Then regarding the union territories and hilly areas and hilly terrains are there, so there the ratio keeps on changing. Okay, so Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana has a basic feature is that, first of all, we will be focusing on incentivizing the state government. Okay, if the state government is trying and creating a lot of investment in the agriculture and allied sector, and state government is focusing on development of agriculture, so this is going to provide incentives to the state government. Okay, then second is to provide flexibility and autonomy to the state in process. Okay, so here focus is on the state government. State government will have all the autonomy, flexibility in designing their plans. Okay, whatever the plans you have to design, what you have to do, where you have to sell, what type of crop you have to grow, what type of things you have to utilize, extension services, whatever it is. So it is all being the autonomy has been given to the state government. Okay, then the third one is to ensure the preparation of agriculture plan for the district. Okay, so here focus is on preparation of agriculture plan for each and every district based on what is the agroclimatic condition, whether it is drought, whether it is drought hit, okay, whether it is drought hit or whether it is rain fed, or whether it is irrigated area. So based on that you have to create an agroclimatic, what type of crops earlier in the previous years are been grown over there. Okay, then focus is on that local needs, crops and priorities. Local needs, crops and priorities are better reflected in agriculture plan. So whatever is the local need, that means if I live in a Bundelkhand region, okay, if I live in a Bundelkhand region, so what exactly are the local needs of the Bundelkhand, you should know. What type of crops are being grown in the Bundelkhand, you should know. And what is the priority area. It is not like that you have to force your order on the local needs. Okay, so focus is on local needs, crop priorities and better reflect. Okay, then to achieve the goal of reducing the yield gap in important crop through focused intervention. That means there should not be very huge yield gap, and yield should keeps on increasing in a proper way. That and how we can maximize the return to the farmer. You know, we wanted to maximize our doubling the farmer income, right? That was the scheme that we are running, and it has to be achieved by 2022. But because of COVID-19 pandemic that came in 2020, so this has the target has been further shifted up ahead. Okay, and then to bring the quantifiable changes in production and productivity, like how we can increase our production and productivity, how we can utilize the various agricultural sector, how we can utilize the various allied sectors in all holistic manner. So this is like this Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana Raftar is focusing on developing the agriculture in a totally well developed holistic manner. Okay, so here you can see what I have given you over here is Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana Raftar scheme is there. Okay, so here is agri business incubator example is here. Okay, so here you can see what exactly is the known of the what will happen in the incubator. Like, there are a lot of agripreneurship are there, okay, those who wanted to work in the field of agriculture. Okay, so here there will be a orientation program that will happen. Then they will be also setting up a idea stage in the incubation. Per pre-seed stage support up to rupees 5 lakh. That means if there is any entrepreneurship activity or any project that is coming, at least starting support of rupees 5 lakh will be provided for them. Okay, then platform to launch your product, expansion stage of incubation. Okay, seed stage support of up to rupees 25 lakh. Okay, then scaling up operations. So this is what all Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana Raftar scheme will be providing. Okay, so how, what all things are being covered over? So there is a Ankuran. Ankuran is a program which shows that farmer, student, youth, anybody who is having any kind of innovative idea, they can apply for that program. Okay, and if your application gets selected, okay, you will be given training and a coaching for 2 months, and in that you will be getting a stipend of rupees 10,000 per month. And once you are able to complete the project training and product development, so startup will be provided pre-seed fund. Okay, so you will be getting pre-seed fund, 90% of the project cost, and maximum up to rupees 5 lakh you will be getting. Okay, either the 90% or rupees 5 lakh, that is the maximum permissible limit. And then there is a Prasfutan. Okay, that is the startup with minimum viable product can apply this program. So here also you will be getting incubation facility for 2 month work on the product, lab testing and certification facility. And once you are able to complete the project, incubation phase, seed stage grant will be provided, 85% of the project cost, and maximum 25 lakhs you will be getting under the Prasuftan. Okay, so what all things exactly application focus area are, like agriculture inputs, if there is any kind of input change that we can do. Okay, post harvest food technologies, animal husbandry, dairying, agri extension education, natural resource management, precision farming, agriculture machinery, agri clinic and farm health services, waste to wealth, secondary agriculture, agriculture supply chain, internet of things, internet information communication technology, artificial intelligence in agriculture, farm mechanization, organic farming, agriculture biotechnology. So these are all area for research. Okay, these are research and startup. Okay, here government will be providing all the necessary support. Now Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana has a funding pattern which I have already told you. Like, if there is a fund that is coming and the fund is being released by the central government, if it is our northeast, so the funding pattern will be 90:10. 90 will be given by the central government and 10 will be given by the northeastern states. Union territory, obviously these are the centrally administered territory. Okay, these are the centrally administered territory. So 100% funding will be provided by the central government. Okay, and the third one is all other states. All other states means which are other than union northeast states. These will be under 60:40 ratio. 60 will be central government and 40 will be of the state government. Like this is the funding pattern that has been most of the schemes that are running in our country have a funding pattern of this line. Okay, now what is the project screening and project approval committees are there in the Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana? So here we have a project screening and project approval committees are there. Okay, so there are two committees. Okay, one committee will be screening the project, state level project committee, and one is the sanctioning committee. Okay, so what is the role of the screening committee? So state level screening committee will be constituted by each state. Every state will be constituting their SLPSCS, right? So they will screen all the projects that are coming for the proposal, whether this is being valid under the Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana Raftar scheme or not. Okay, so this screening committee, that is project screening committee, will be headed by the agriculture production commissioner or any other officer nominated by the chief secretary of that state. Okay, so here the screening process will be working. Then after that we have a state level sanctioning committee is also there. Okay, so here the sanctions of the specific crop project will be recommended by the SLPSCS. Okay, so SLPS will recommend the project. Okay, SLPSC will recommend the project, and these recommended project will be sanctioned by the SLSC. Okay, so state level sanction committee is vested with authority to sanction a specific project recommended by the SLPS. Okay, under each stream. Okay, and one representative is required from the government of India for a committee meeting. Okay, whenever any committee is meeting that is happening, so there will be one representative from the government of India will be also coming for proper. Okay, so this is going to be headed by the chief secretary of the state. So whole committee will be headed by the chief secretary of the state. Okay, sanctioning committee. Now, Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana Raftar is a project based scheme. Okay, based on the project and based on the reports. Okay, so there is a DPR. So there is a detailed project report is there, that is called as a DPR, which has to be provided because there is a format that has been provided. In that format everything is being given. Okay, what is the name of the project, essential detail, what is the feasibility study, competencies, who will be implementing, what is the benefit, outcome and outputs, flow to the farmer, what is going to be the state, timeline, and everything will be written over at that place. Okay, everything will be written over there. Okay, and if the project is costing more than rupees 25 crore, then this DPR, detailed project report, has to go to third party also for techno financial evaluation. Okay, and this report will be also circulated to various central ministry if they wanted to give any type of comment and observation. So this is a project based scheme it is. Okay, based on the type of projects that are coming, based on that proper evaluation will happen, and then the project approval will be given. Okay, so what is the benefit of Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana Raftar scheme? Okay, this will help in strengthening the farmer efforts. Obviously, if the project will be coming and project will be approved. Okay, so this will help in creation various type of post harvest agriculture infrastructure. They will be getting good quality inputs, they will be getting proper storage facility, market facilities and everything, right? Further, this will provide autonomy. The state government will be having autonomy and flexibility to plan and execute the scheme, right? Then further, it will improve the value chain addition and linked production model. Okay, so once we are having a proper projects, and if this project is connected with a proper value chain addition, okay, so this further help and link the farmer. So this will be helping the farmer in increasing their income and also boosting the productivity, and this whole process will be leading to the mitigation of various type of risk that are there on the farmer. Okay, like here it will be preventing the farmer unnecessary loss of the income. So here additional income generation activity will be also created. Okay, like if you are doing integrated farming practice, you can do mushroom cultivation, mushroom farm, beekeeping, aromatic plant. You know, there are a lot of aromatic plants. If you go to Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh, there you will be finding there are a lot of beekeeping and aromatic plant cultivation are happening based on the projects that are being approved under the remunerative approach for agriculture and allied sector Raftar scheme. Okay, and here this project will be also providing various type of empowerment. We have already seen the way how agri entrepreneurship will be working over there with the help of various skill development, innovation and agri entrepreneur services. All these things will be working in that proper way, right? So now what is the eligibility requirement for this whole program? So if we go by the eligibility, so it will be a state plan scheme. Okay, so any assistance, any eligibility for assistance under this scheme will be depend on the amount provided in the state plan budget for agriculture and allied sector. Okay, so there are a lot of sectors are there which are indicated by the planning commission earlier, okay, which has been removed, will be the basis of determining the sectoral expenditure. Okay, planning commission is not being there right now. So the main sectoral expenditure can be done in the crop husbandry sector, animal husbandry, agriculture, research, education, forestry, wildlife, plantation, agriculture, because these are being approved by like earlier planning commission, because since Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana launched in 2007, so during that time planning commission was there. Okay, but still the places where sectoral expenditure has to be done are still there. Okay, food and storage, warehousing, soil and water conservation, agriculture, financial institution, and various other agriculture program. Okay, so these are the places where you can invest and where you can create a plan. Okay, where you can create a plan for expenditure in this area under the Raftar scheme. Okay, but there are certain exclusion sector are also being there. So what are these excluding sector? Okay, so these are the sector where creation or topping up of any kind of revolving fund or corporate paper. That means you cannot revolve or you cannot top up any other fund on this scheme. Okay, and if there is any expenditure toward maintenance of asset and which is a recurring expense, so again you cannot do that. Okay, then expenses to a salary, transport, traveling allowance, daily allowances, semi-permanent employment. Okay, so this is also not allowed. But if expenses are towards hiring a manpower or outsourcing on contractual basis, okay, with 20% allocation can be utilized for that. Then expense toward POL, petroleum, oil and lubricants, financing state share and on topping up subsidies level, that is also not allowed. Foreign visit, tour, including study tour on farmers abroad, that is also not being allowed under the Raftar scheme. Then purchase of vehicle is also not allowed if you are asking under the Raftar scheme. Then financial, any kind of debt waiver, interest subvention or insurance premium or compensation, all these things cannot be done with the help of Raftar funds. Okay, then creation, strengthening office in the private sector, NGO beyond the permissible limit, that is also not allowed. So these are the excluded thing which you cannot do under the Raftar scheme. Okay, so whenever we talk about the funding of the Raftar, so fund under the Raftar would be provided to the state as a grant. They will be provided as a grant by the central government in various ways. Okay, so regular Raftar 70% of annual outlay will be allocated among the state. Various criteria are there. For infrastructure asset, 50% of 70% of regular Raftar. Outlay pre-harvest structure 20% and post-harvest structure 30%. Then value addition linked production project, agri-business models are there. Okay, where you can create a kind of assured and additional income to the farmer. Okay, again 30% of that 70% which has been allocated from the top. Okay, and there is a flexi fund of 20% out of that 70%. Okay, so of the regular Raftar fund, okay, you can utilize this fund for any type of local need. Okay, for any type of new innovative activities or in any other right sectors, right? Then there are Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana special sub schemes are there. Okay, what are these special sub scheme? Let me tell you. Okay, so there are sub special schemes are accelerated. One is accelerated fodder development program. Fodder development program. Second one is your National Saffron Mission. National Saffron Mission. Then we have a crop diversification program. Crop diversification program. Fourth, reclamation of problem soil. Reclamation of problem soil. Okay, so these are the program. Some more programs are there, right? Biggery. We have a BGREI, bringing green revolution to Eastern India. Bringing green revolution to Eastern India. That is the fifth program. Then let me remove this. Okay, I will write here. Then we have a sixth program, that is Vidarbh intensified irrigation development program. Okay, then okay, allow me to continue here. Okay, then we have a very important program that is called integrated development of 60,000 pulse village in rain fed area, right? So this was introduced in 2011 and 12 budget. Okay, so here we are focused. So this is again under that part only. Okay, then a scheme for promotion of oil palm. Okay, that means we are focusing on bringing around 1.05 lakh hectare of land under oil palm cultivation, because that is what we are giving in major imports. Okay, that is why we wanted to reduce these imports to whatever area we need. Okay, then we have a initiative on vegetable clusters. Okay, so the main objective of this initiative of vegetable cluster is to address all concern related to both the demand and supply of the vegetable sector. Okay, so focus is on nutritional security and provide income support, right? So this is what exactly we are doing under the Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana Raftar. So you can see here they have said that here a special sub scheme. So these are all the special sub schemes which are being utilizing the various type of percentage of the money that has been allocated under the Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana Raftar scheme. Okay, so now in the C part we have a innovation and agri entrepreneurship development. So 10% of the outlay will be going in order to encourage the various type of innovative and various activities which are able to generate the agriculture entrepreneurship, which will again boost the skill development of our country, and also which will further provide a financial support. Okay, so we will be supporting the incubators, we will be supporting the incubation centers, we will be supporting Krishi Vigyan Kendra. Okay, so this all be, and then 2% of the administrative cost at that center. So the case of the fund is not utilized. Okay, so it will be diverted to the sub scheme. That means if any of the fund that has been not utilized in any of that part, so that will be diverted to the sub schemes under the Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana remunerative scheme. Okay, so if we go by like how the Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana will be supporting various sector, like if it is crop production, then how it is trying to help. So it is providing you with working on the high yielding variety of the seeds. Okay, high yielding variety of seeds, then precision farming. Okay, and then integrated pest management. Then the second is what it is doing for animal husbandry, right? What it is doing for animal husbandry, it is like developing of the fodder material, new breed purchase, new breed purchase you will be getting of animals, and then setting up of the veterinary clinics. Then what it is doing for the horticulture, for horticulture is like setting up of nurseries. Okay, then irrigation facilities, then marketing of horticulture facilities. Then what it is doing for fisheries. Fisheries is like aquaculture development. Okay, aquaculture development, fishing boat purchase. Okay, fishing boat purchase. Okay, and equipments and marketing. Okay, then what it is for your agro processing, what they are doing for agro processing. Okay, so agro processing, they are providing a financial help. Okay, and they will be expanding that area, they will be increasing the value chain addition over there, and over it will be also creating the jobs in those areas. Okay, so this is how the Raftar scheme is supporting the agriculture activity with based on the state level state made plan. Okay, if you go to the Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana website, okay, so here you will be seeing the various type of financial allotment that has been given, and what is the entrepreneurship activity they are doing, then agriculture plan. Okay, you will get some of the detailed project report you will be getting over there. Okay, they are what is the way they are utilizing for the publicity and everything. So here you can see around 18,648 projects have been approved till now, and right now 9,097 projects are going on, and completed is 8,941, and desanctioned projects are 151, and abandoned projects are 549. So everything is being given, on a dashboard. So it is all being transparent and accountable properly. So everything is being shared over here, and you can go there, find out the details and every project, and you can find out what type of projects is going at which places, at how much is the funding has been given, and what is the project report that has been there, and how the money is being utilized all over there. Okay, guys. So I think this is all for today. Thank you so much, guys, for joining the session. I will be coming out with some more schemes related to the agriculture. So till then, bye bye, take care, and have a good day.